Mr. Samuel Charles, welcome to the Great Wide Open Mic podcast. I very much appreciate you taking the time out and accommodating me for my kids' busy schedule and meeting me this early on a Saturday morning. It's not easy for a musician to wake up early, so I do very much appreciate it. What I want to just start with before asking any questions is, and something that I noticed about you is that you are insanely supportive and open mic frequenter, especially at Java Junkie, and insanely supportive of a lot of the other artists, constantly posting other people's art and stuff like that. So that super struck out to me as just very noble act for a musician who's trying to also climb the ranks. I super am excited to listen to your songs live at the Great Wide Open Mic, and tell me about your music experience here in Provo.
Thank you. It's been good. There's a lot of venues in Provo.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot of smaller venues, I should say, that have come and gone, and I guess that's because there's so many people who are like very amateur that want to make music, which is, cool, right?
Yeah.
It's been good. I mean, I like to play a lot of gigs. In the summers, I try to play like 2 or 3 per week. And it's been cool to be around here because usually there's enough gigs to facilitate that. There's enough venues and stuff.
Yeah, and that's actually something that's really unique to this area, I feel like, is ton of like backyard porch open mics, or there's that Berkeley's Backyard I just discovered.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different real small pop-up like places for people to just come and jam, or like strum circles, things like that.
There's no bars.
What's that?
There's no bars.
Exactly right. Yeah, I've talked about that with other musicians around here. Completely unique to this area. I'm from California. I grew up in the Bay Area of California. And as a musician, there was no shortage of bars. You go to San Francisco, you can go to Oakland, San Jose, tons of places to play every night. And people are socially lubricating, and there's just a vibrant scene. But here, there's still a demand for music. Like the need for music is so inherent, I think, in us. But there's no bar scene, so it's a super unique place, and it's real special because you have a lot of great musicians like yourself. I love that. How did you get your start in music? Like, what did you start playing, and then where did you evolve to?
Yeah, I started with guitar. My brother took lessons from a company, I guess, a music school in Salt Lake called On Track. And I watched him play. They would do like a recital every year where they, because they had a guitar school and a drum school and a bass school, and a vocal school. So they would do a recital every year where they got all the students together to play as a band. And they would do that. I can't remember what it was called, Summerfest, something like that. But I watched my brother playing that. I thought it looked really, really cool. So I started playing guitar in like the 5th or 6th grade, I think, and just did that like pretty casually until high school, and then I started to get interested in performing, and my high school would have like an arts fest, and I did that every year, and I was in choirs and stuff, but I never wrote anything. And then when I moved down here, I moved like pretty light. Like I didn't have like my computer and stuff like that. So I was pretty bored. I didn't have the usual distractions of like video games and stuff like that. I tried writing music, and I don't know if I was good at it, but I liked doing it. And I wrote some songs that needed bass and drums, and I'd sort of dabbled in bass and drums. So I recorded an EP with all these songs I'd written. They had bass, drums, and guitars. I was thinking like, oh, well, this is pretty cool. It'd be cool to do like a release show. So I found some friends that could play bass and drums, and we played that release show. It was really fun. I ended up doing the recording for the bass and drums and the EP.
Nice.
To play with me.
So because was it just, I mean, was it a control factor, or you just wanted it to sound a certain way, or was it just availability?
My own recording.
Yeah.
I think it was more like, yeah, there's probably a control factor, but I don't think I'm that controlling. Because, you know, when I play with the band now and I like write a song or something, I'll tell them like, okay, it's in like four. I'm imagining the bass doing something like following the root, and that's like as much instruction as I get, because I don't want to be like, okay, I want the guitar to be doing exactly this and make sure
Right. And here's the bass line. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was more I wanted something to do for the summer, and I'm not antisocial, but I think I'm a little shy. So it's like, cool, I can just lock myself up in my house all afternoon and like make noises. That seems easier than trying to meet people.
Yeah.
But to play like gigs, I needed to find some people, and thankfully, I have some really excellent friends that were willing to play with me.
Yeah, and it's interesting you said that. I mean, I recorded my first EP and I did the exact same thing, and I recorded simple drums, simple bass on everything, mostly because I didn't have any friends that I really trusted to get it right and to mimic it. But then I think you let go of some of that if you want it to be either more professional or you want to just have a little bit more fun with the band and go play some like real big shows rather than just solo stuff. You do a lot of solo stuff though. I mean, I do a lot of solo stuff as well. How do you book gigs around here? What's your process? Do you I mean, do you probably have like a nice Rolodex or list of venues that are recurring? Is it pretty easy for you to just reach out and be like, hey, I want to play here? Or do you still have to follow up a lot like a lot of other musicians?
Yeah, it's gotten easier. Because so I've been doing this like Samuel Charles project for like 7-ish years now. But most of that was really not very serious because I was in school. It's just like something fun to do with my friends.
Yeah.
And like a good creative outlet. But so I've only really been like trying to do it more seriously for the past, I don't know, 3 years, 2.5 years. And in that time, yeah, it's gotten a lot easier to book gigs just because I've been so much more involved in it. So like the first summer I was doing that, I applied to a lot of places and I'd, email or send Instagram messages. But since that summer, the last 2 summers, mostly it's been people reaching back out to me to say, oh, hey, we loved you last year. We'd love to have you come back. So it's a little bit of both. Like I do apply for quite a few gigs, but I get a lot more organically from people reaching out to me because they know me because I've done it long enough, or gigs begot more gigs. You
Right.
play a gig and someone likes you, and then yeah, so it kind of keeps the ball rolling that way.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think, good advice for a musician is just like put the legwork in at the front end because you don't realize I still get even from California. I just went in April and I try to book all my gigs in like a 1 week span and play them all. But you do get those regulars who are just like, I'd rather like they have an annual event or something and they're just like, we know Martin, so we're just gonna book them.
Yeah.
And but yeah, totally agree on that. I was listening to your live at Java Junkie album, and I loved the last track on that. The name escapes me. I know it has God in the title, but I wanted to talk to you about it. Did you purposefully, when you play a set list, or did you have a set list? Did you know you were going to record that live? Did you know that you were going to close with that song? And what's the story behind that song?
I'm trying to remember what song it is. Is it about God?
I'm positive it is, but
maybe I'll look it up really quick.
Yeah, you can look it up.
Answering incorrectly. I think we didn't know that we were going to record that. Yeah, about God. No, yeah, it was just a gig that I was playing that I was kind of excited for because I had a lot of friends come. And, I played it and I felt pretty good about the performance in general. And then Joey Brandon, I think he's playing. Have you talked to Joey?
He is playing. He was one of our first performers on the list and one of our first podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah, he was running sound. And I guess Java Junkie had just barely installed something on their board that would let them record from the board. And Joey had recorded it without telling me, and he messaged me the other day and he said, oh, hey, I recorded that. I think it sounds like pretty good, good enough that you could use it for something. So that worked out. But no, I didn't know they were recording it. I think, trying to remember, because they sent me that whole file. They sent me the whole performance as one file, and it wasn't in tracks.
Oh
It was
yeah,
just
so you
like
have
the
to separate them.
master. So there wasn't a lot of mixing I could do. So I think the songs as they appear are, I think that's how I performed them. I don't think I messed with that at all.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't really plan it. I'm pretty bad at doing set lists. When I play Valor and they're pretty like time focused, I'll make a set list, but usually for my gigs I don't like to do them. I think I think when I performed that I'd written that song kind of recently.
Mm.
Um, so it was fresh and it felt, clean and exciting still. And I have a lot of slow songs that are kind of sad. So I thought it'd be a fun way to end the show instead of like this is the big dramatic, like, oh, this is kind of fun. And I'm really proud of the writing, but it doesn't feel so heavy. I mean, it's a little heavy, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's more just like, yeah, this song's fresh and I want to play it. And it's cool because that song's going to be on my next album, like for real.
I love it.
And I've had a lot of people like at gigs tell me, like, oh, I'm so excited for this one. And I have the Live at Java Junkie one. And I'm excited for like a good quality one of the band. And yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for both versions. I am so, and maybe it's why I founded an open mic, but I absolutely love, and I got enamored at a young age with the like raw acoustic demo version of any song,
Mhm.
rather than the like fully polished and fine-tuned one. I love the initial ideas behind a song and the initial recordings. I always used to get acoustic versions of songs. I also would love like VH1 Storytellers. I'm not sure if you even know what that is, but it was a show on cable.
Ooh,
30 years ago, and it was all these major artists, but they would come kind of like Unplugged, MTV Unplugged. I'm sure you've
yeah.
heard like Nirvana Unplugged, stuff like
Mhm.
that. Very similar, but like these major artists would come on and they'd tell the stories behind their songs, then they'd play an acoustic version of it, and just fascinated me, just the story behind the songs and everything like that. Is there a story behind that song, or are you a product of this area? Did you grow up in this area? Is that and how did that song come to fruition?
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up in Salt Lake. So I'm a product of the area. Trying to remember, I wrote it on my porch. For the Provo natives or locals watching, I wrote it on the porch in Arcadia outside of apartment 15 where I was living.
Nice.
I'd written a song previously um, called Baggage. I feel like I write songs in pairs pretty often. So I'd written Baggage, and it's enormously sad. And it's not even like that self-biographical. Um, but anyway, I had this other song that I could sort of feel coming. So I went out on the porch and I wrote it in like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just out there. And it was funny because I just, not recently, but sort of freshly, there was like I got dumped and like decided to date someone else. And it was just kind of a thing. So that first line, um, I was like, oh, maybe this is like about that girl that dumped me. And then I kept playing like, oh no, it's like a God type song. And I always thought that was funny that this person who didn't really like me that much, but in my brain had like that kind of power over me. Like
Yeah.
that line, I've been punishing myself with you was in my brain and initially could apply to some girl who like in hindsight is not that important at all.
I
Um
mean, that's a fascinating. I mean, I'm going to go back and listen to it like 5 more times now
yeah.
with knowing that knowledge, because it's just a fascinating. I've never even thought about that before, but a fascinating, I don't know, juxtaposition
Yeah.
between a relationship with a female or your partner, and
Mhm.
a relationship uh, with religion. That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're like with someone, you care about someone a lot, like they do have so much power. over you, whether, and for good or bad, that can be a really great thing if it's mutual or whatever. But yeah, I wrote those first two lines. I've been punishing myself a few, like I always seem to do. I wrote those and I just sort of played them for a while, just in an open E. And then, yeah, I remember I realized, like, oh, no, I think this is something else, thankfully. Because I'd already written like 2 songs about my experiences with that girl, I guess, in that time in life. Yeah, and then I just sort of sat out on the porch and wrote the rest of it in like, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, which is really cool. I don't know. I think that porch was a good spot because I wrote a lot of songs like that just,
Yeah.
you went out on the porch and wrote it in 30 or 40 minutes.
I mean, I like that idea too. I definitely have just in this house I live in and houses I've lived in prior, you have like your comfort spot. Sometimes it's on the bed of, a certain part of your bed next to where your guitar is sitting, or maybe for me, it's literally on the floor in this room. Like, but yeah, you definitely have comfort spots, which are like, all right, now I can invite the warm thoughts in and the creative thoughts.
Yeah.
But yeah, wholeheartedly agree with that. Well, I think it's an amazing song. And I think other people resonate with it as well, especially around here. And yeah, so I'm super stoked. When do you plan? Have you already recorded the album that you were talking about earlier, or are you in the process of doing that now?
I'm in the process. I just moved. At my old house, I had like a really big room and I had enough space to like set up drums and stuff to record. So I drum I drum poorly but cleanly, we'll say. So yeah, so I've done 2 albums now, right? My second album, I recorded the drums in Java Junkie. Like after they closed, I just went and set up, and it was really fast and messy and last minute. And I'm proud of what I accomplished because, it was a very, very, like, I did all the mixing and mastering myself, and it was a huge learning process. But for the third album had a lot more songs that the one I'm doing now has a lot more songs that I'm more proud of, and they're more personal, and I think it's a better album. So I want to take the time to do it right, but I'm still very I'm still on a very tight budget. So yeah. I got lucky in the last place we lived. I had enough space to record drums in my room. So I took the time to do like all the sound treatment, and I bought a new drum kit and tuned it really nice and all this stuff. So yeah, I'm recording that album right now, and then I moved. So I'm doing the rest of the guitars in this new place. But anyway, I did all the drums there and stuff, and I've done drums and bass for About God, and I'm really excited for it. And then did you watch my Rugs Unplugged session before this by chance?
No, unfortunately I didn't.
I scroll all the way down. It's kind of hidden.
Yeah, I will listen to more for sure.
Anyway, it's fine, but a lot of the songs from that are going to be on this. So like I have a song called David that I'm really proud of. It's going to be on this album. That's kind of related to About God, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, working on recording that, I think it's going to be a lot more professional sounding and a lot more put together, I guess, thematically as well.
Yeah,
I was kind of excited.
No, I love it. Super looking forward to it. And now you get to play 2 songs in the Great White Open Mic. Have you any idea which 2 are you locked in, or are you going to think about that, ponder that over for the next month?
Well, I was gonna do David, because I like David and I think it's a cool song. And then a newer one called Hand in Hand, because those are like my 2 go-tos right now. But I'll probably have to play About God now, since I know you like it. I'm so flattered.
I do love it, but I don't want to be any kind of distraction or influence as to what the artists play. Obviously, there are certain reasons why we chose certain artists and their submissions and their songwriting style. But so I have secretly the songs that I would love for you guys to play, but I don't want to be any influence at all. So whatever you choose, I trust the artist's decision is what they think is the most fitting songs for that night. So super stoked to have you join the rest of the group. I'm so stoked to have this show coming up. Is there any advice that you would give, like say a brand new artist just coming into the Provo, Utah music scene? Any advice that you would give them if they're just getting started out?
Yeah, go play gigs.
Yeah,
go play lots of gigs.
love it.
I think nowadays, like, it's so easy to record music at home. And I've talked to people that, I've asked them, like, oh, do you have any gigs coming up? And they'll tell me, like, yeah, we're focusing on like studio stuff now because like the numbers don't lie. Like, you're going to get more listens if you get something in like a playlist. So like you should just focus on that instead of gigging. And I just think that's so, I mean, maybe it's right, but I don't think so. But it's even if it is right, it's so boring. Like the point of playing music is to play music and go out and get on stage and like connect with people and meet cool people and whatever. I think my friend Jared was telling me Taj Mahal was really big into that in like the 70s, maybe it was the 80s, but like
Playing live or studio?
Playing live.
Yeah,
he said like everyone then was like, oh hey, like you can really take the time in the studio and record stuff how you want to. And Taj just played like tons and tons of shows because like, yeah, that's what it's about. You get to go play music. It's amazing. It's so fun, and it makes you a better musician. If you play a gig every week, it's like so much better practice than being in your room. So yeah, play gigs.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. And yeah, I love that that's your advice also, because that's a huge reason why we started the Great Wide Open Mic is it's literally what we've been doing for 40,000 years, right? Like playing music communally in social gatherings live, like that's where you get the shivers and the chills down your spine. I love studio albums, and there's 100 studio albums I could say are life-changing for me. But man, when you go to see a live show and you are, with friends or family or like-minded individuals, there's just nothing like it. So I think that there's going to be, and I also think for our time, and because everyone's got a cell phone, so everyone's recording music in their, room and putting it out. So there's no shortage of independent artists. But in this time of like AI generated music, live shows, I think, are where it's going to be. I think a lot of true artists are just going to shine in the live sector. I think a lot of people are going to kind of push back on that AI generated movement, and there's going to be a strong market for live music. So love it. What's your thoughts on AI? Have you used AI before? Have you used Suno or any of those programs? Or
no, I would never touch that with a 10-foot pole. I mean, I don't know. I think it's so embarrassing. Okay, there's someone I know who's fancies himself a musician, but I don't think he really is. He likes to make sounds in his studio, and that's fine, I guess. But yeah, he was talking to me about Suno, and he's like, it's really amazing. I feel like it's so empowering because I can sit down and like have a song in 10 minutes and really like see my vision. And like, if you're recording a song, right? I don't think that sitting down and recording drums or recording guitar for 40 minutes, like that's not immaterial. Like it is important. It's part of the process, and it's very important. Like let's just forget that AI music sounds like crap, because it does. Like that's like saying, oh, you painted something. Like it doesn't matter that you physically applied, dyes to a canvas, and no. The end picture, the end thing you see is just as important as every brushstroke. And you can't call yourself a musician if all you're doing is sitting down and letting something generate this for you. The same way, like a painter can't call themselves a painter if they're not the one painting, applying the brushstrokes. It is so insane to me, and it's that same guy. I don't want to say who it is because I get in trouble.
You probably shouldn't. I'm not going to share that.
No, but like I've heard some of this AI music, and it just sucks. It's so forgettable. Like, not just I don't like it because I don't like AI music, but like it's on first listen you think, oh geez, what am I going to do? I'm going to be out of the job. This is like perfect and whatever. But 5 minutes after I've heard the song, I can't remember a single part of it. It's so forgettable. It's just like a sausage of nothing. And
like that. What I'm really hoping,
yeah.
and I told you how I love stripped down raw versions of songs. What I'm really hoping is that the pushback is so strong that we're going to collectively as a species be like, you know what, fine-tuned perfect studio recordings are not that cool. What's really cool is like this stripped down, really raw acoustic version of a song that you can't, that AI is not going to imitate. That would be my dream. And then everyone just comes out with like acoustic albums. Like I would love it. So
yeah, that'd be awesome.
We get somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, I very much appreciate you taking the time, man. I'm so excited for August 29th. And I'm hoping to catch one of your shows at the Java Junkie or elsewhere. I know you're playing a ton. I love to see everything you're doing. I love to see you propping up all the other musicians. It's very noble, very admirable what you do. I hope you never stop. And I have to thank you for being a part of this podcast, part of the community. And I can't wait to see you live.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to real quick. I want to say you've done such a good job promoting the Great White Open Mic. I was at my gig last night. I was talking to the band, and they wanted to hang out. I was like, I've got to wake up kind of early for this podcast. And they're like, oh, which one is it? It's the Great White Open Mic, and all of them were like, oh yeah, I've seen that. That's so cool. You're doing that. I was very impressed because I don't know what I'm seeing because I've seen a lot of your stuff on my Instagram feed, and I don't know if that's just like being sent to me because I'm constantly doing live stuff, but everyone in my band had seen it as well.
Oh,
so whatever you're doing with the promotion is working. Everyone.
It's the first time I've ever promoted something and people are listening. I'll tell you that. And I'm 43 years old. I've been trying to promote my own music. So I appreciate that. I'm actually excited. And in all honesty, maybe I have to scale it back. I think I have a max of 150 people at the Glen Canyon Amphitheater. Otherwise, I think there's fines, there's things to be paid. So maybe I can't have that many people show up. But no, yeah, I appreciate it. I'm really putting all my effort into building this up, building not only this community, but also this show. Every show I think is going to be just a magical event. And the more artists I meet, the more chills I get because there's just so many special people that are, just like me and just like you, very much on the lower tier of fame and like the bottom tier of fame and any kind of noise that we're making in the music industry as a whole. But because I've hosted open mics for 10 years, like I know how many people exist in every city across the world. Yeah. And like, it's not just Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift and Benson Boone. Like those are not the only talented people in the room. Yes, they are immensely talented and they deserve their status. But like in any city, if you go to any open mic, you will brush shoulders with people who are just phenomenal songwriters and full of just the same amount of humanity and passion. And so that's really what I want to bottle up in these shows is like this. So I'm so excited. People are digging it.
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Sam, very, very excited to have you. And we will see you on August 29th. I'm sure I'll run into you before then and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing everything right.
Cool. Sounds good. Thanks.
Cheers, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Burn out my candle. Burn it down. You don't know my worry, 'cause I won't make a sound. And take me with kind words and strip my bones. I know that you don't love me, but I can't leave it alone. And I don't know why I had ever felt that way. The season light, it tricks me every single day. And I want to call her, but I know there's nothing more for me to say. And I should let it burn away. This fire is lovely, it keeps me warm. You left in such a hurry, and I never thought to mourn. I'll sit in this moonlight and ponder above. I don't think I'm happy, but I know that I'm not in love. And I want to know all the words that I should say to a girl in the sunshine who never seems to stay, who twists and pulls with every step that I take past yesterday. A girl who's never loved me